wanted to take a moment to talk about the difference between the medical model of disability and the social model. And I think this is really, really important as you transition into self determination, because one of the biggest things that I see is that when people are struggling with some of the process of going into self determination, it's because they're struggling with this mind shift between these two models. The regional center services is based on the medical model, and self determination is based on the social model. So I'm going to take a minute to kind of break it down for you. Okay, so the medical model of disability. So this is one that we're all pretty used to. This is the model that the regional center has used and the model that schools mostly use. And the medical model of disability looks at the person as the problem that needs to be fixed. So disability is something to be fixed. Support should be treatment focused, and services are triggered by diagnosis and deficits, right? So in traditional regional center services, this shows up as lots of assessments, focusing on what's wrong in order to justify those services. And, a lot of the services that you get through the regional center are pre-approved, or it's based on what's available and who is vendorized, right? So there's another way to think about disability and support services, which is the social model of disability. So this perspective really shifts our understanding by recognizing that people aren't broken, rather it's our systems that create barriers. So instead of focusing on changing the individual, this model emphasizing removing those barriers and creating better access. So the self-determination program really embodies this approach because it explores the participant's vision, dream, and need. And then services are built around those goals rather than being kind of prescribed based on their deficits. Okay, so let's look at some real life examples of these two models. In the traditional system, it is your child has autism, here's some ABA. If your child has autism, then they obviously need to get ABA. In self-determination, or in the social model, it's more about your child wants to make friends. How can we support that? So it's not based on the deficit, but rather the vision. So another example, regional center model, it might be, you can't have that service. We're not vendored with that agency. Whereas in self-determination, it's like, let's figure out how to hire someone who can help with that. So in the traditional system, parents really become experts in justifying needs by talking about deficits. And in self-determination, you become sort of experts in imagining solutions and how they can live their best life despite disability. So you're creating a life plan and not just a list of services. So it's empowering, but I understand that it takes some unlearning. Most of us have learned the medical model for years and years and years, and that's okay. It's a mindset. It's a mindset shift. It can be difficult, but it's an important one. So I hope that helped.